Good morning, traders. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Forsick from Elite Currency. And take a look at our Black Friday special. Just go to elitecurrency.com. Scroll down here to Black Friday is on and check out all the discounts and goodies you can get for this Black Friday special. All right, euro dollar falling quickly and impulsively. A lot of momentum here, breaking below the fractal and the 144 EMA. And breaking below 115 as well. Made it all the way down to the 112.50 quarter level. So there's a lot of momentum in the last 2 weeks as it's falling. And at this moment, pretty much clear that it's making a wedge pattern here with these trend lines. You can see that a bit better on the monthly chart. And it's testing probably that support trend line very soon. Maybe this year, for instance, or beginning of next year. We can see that momentum probably hit the support trend line. I would still expect a bounce right there if this is some type of triangle. We have a higher low, we have a lower highs. So it could be A, B like this. It could be A, B, C, D, E, and then down, for instance. Or perhaps even the other way around, A, B, C, D, E, and up. But for the moment, I think the down version has a little bit more compelling arguments because of the overall downtrend that we see here. It's probably more likely it would break to the downside, but let's see. Moving averages slightly inclined to the downside as well on the monthly. So weekly chart in any case, after it broke through the 144 EMA, and specifically after it broke through this fractal at the 144 EMA, it started to really pick up speed. And the bullish version, where a 50 fib might be the bouncing spot, that, of course, went out of the window, was invalid as soon as price broke through that 50 fib at 115.30, and we see a lot of momentum falling after that. On the daily chart, we had some retracement here after hitting the WIS 9 at 112.50, back to 113.75. Last week, we were looking at a break below 114.40-ish, and a break below that could see an immediate follow through to the downside, and that's what happened. So we're seeing a lot of bear pressure on this time frame too, and the 4-hour chart, of course, you can see that pretty good here as it broke through this small bear flag. A lot of follow through, retracement to 113.75, and then again a lower low. So we're right here at 112.50. We already had basically 2 bounces at this level, 2 tests of this level. So it could break eventually. I'm not sure if this third attempt will break. We had some reaction to the upside. That's going to be a bit tricky spot because WIS 8 is close by. If it does make a bounce up, I think that a retest of the previous top makes sense, and it could be a bouncing spot. So I would look for a bearish bounce there. If price were to get as far as this consolidation zone, then that would be an ideal spot to look for a bounce down. But I don't think it will happen now. I suspect that if we do get a retracement, it will be shallow to WIS 7. We'll see a new low, and then we might see a bigger correction eventually later on that could take us back to this zone, and that could be an ideal bouncing spot. Something like this, for instance. So that's a scenario to keep in mind. But I think that here and here are excellent. These two are excellent resistance zones and bouncing spots. But I think the shallow one first and maybe the deeper one later. If we get there, let's see on the hourly chart. Let's take a look. A lot of pressure to the downside, but this 112.50 zone is not that easy to break, and I think there could be some reaction to it. So let's see if we get a break above the 21 EMA. We might see this kind of retracement back to the previous top. If price does break through 112.50, this bottom, there could be an immediate push through, of course. And in that case, the target is a simple 112.25. It might not be too much, 112.30. And that's the WIS 8 level. I could go a little bit further than that, don't get me wrong. Let's put some fibs on to get a little bit more targets on this chart. Let's put it from here to here. 111.75, for instance, and 110.50. But I suspect that if we get a lower low, it will not go too far. So lower time frames, if trading this breakout to the downside makes sense because there's not a lot of space before there is a chance of retracement. There was a lot of momentum in this push down, so it could continue right away without another retracement. But the bearish momentum might slow down a little bit compared to what we've seen. So, I want to be on guard for that. But yeah, lower time frames make sense to monitor it to see how much it can move lower. I suspect the main target is the minus 272 target. I don't think it will go as deep as the minus 61.8 target without going back to the 21 EMA another time. That's my 2 cents at least. Pound USD. All right. To me, it was also looking bearish with the strong momentum, but it made a little bit stronger retracement, and ultimately, basically did not have a bearish candle last week. Did have a wick on top, but candle was bullish in fact, so didn't show the same aggressive down move as the euro dollar necessarily, but still it's hanging below the 21 EMA. Moving averages are aligned to the downside, and ultimately the upside just retraced this big candle and went just about over half and already found resistance. So this upside move is not looking very bullish either. So it looks like a retracement and pretty sturdy downtrend channel, I think, on this pound USD at this moment. And if we can move this channel, there we go. We can see we're quite close to the bottom, but this channel might break. As it breaks through WIS 8, it could break through the channel and go down and find more acceleration outside of this channel. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if that could happen in this type of environment at this moment. Breaking below the 143 EMA could kick in more bearish momentum on the pound. We already had a lot of bearish momentum on the euro dollar. Pound dollar might follow that lead this week and see an acceleration lower. Okay, let's put the fib. We don't have a triangle pattern like the euro dollar, but as far as I can see here, let me check the monthly. It's more like a flat, so there's a lot of space to the previous bottom. But we should keep an eye on deeper fibs like 78, 88.6 fibs. So there seems to be a lot of space towards those fibs for the moment. Of course, these fibs still might be a factor as well, but smaller one. All right, so from my perspective, if it breaks these support trend lines, I think there should be a fair chance of a move lower down to 133.25, and if there's a flag or continuation, then down to 132.50 and then 131.50, like this. Here are the spaces for that continuation lower as soon as we get a break and close below that. So this 4-hour candle could already break below this trend line. That could be already one way of looking for a breakout to the downside. Let's take a look at the hourly. Very messy here, but we're getting lower lows and lower highs on this hourly chart. And if it were to make any retracement up, I suspect that a bounce at around 134.50, 134.75 is likely. But at this moment, I think it looks pretty bearish, and I suspect that we get a push to retest the trend line, maybe a flag, and then a continuation lower down to the WIS 9 and 38.2 fib. Okay, that's my 2 cents in the pound USD. If it breaks above, I would say we'd really need to break above the 21 EMA on the daily chart. I wouldn't be bullish, but in that case, it's not as bearish, but it could make a retracement. Then I would be looking for a bounce at the top of the channel. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, then of course that's a pretty hefty and nice resistance level as well for this pound USD. All right, take a look at Black Friday offers, special discounts for all our audience. So hope to see you as a member, and wish everyone great trading. Cheers, bye-bye.